Beware the stare of Mary Shaw. She had no children, only dolls. And if you see her in your dreams, make sure you never, ever scream. There's an old ghost story around here about a woman named Mary Shaw. She was buried with her doll collection. Now, some say it's just a scary poem. Parents tell their kids to keep them in line. But others claim it's more than just a ghost story. There are things you remember, and there are things you can't forget, like the look in that woman's face when she died. Her name was Mary Shaw, the ventriloquist who lost her voice. Back when I was a boy, those were the glory days of Ravens Fair, and the town built itself a grand old theatre, the Gilnald Theatre, out on Lost Lake. I only ever went there once. Mary Shaw was born in the year 1869. As a child, she had no friends, only her dolls. But as an adult, she became a very successful ventriloquist. Single and with no family, Mary amassed a huge collection of ventriloquist dummies, totaling more than 101, each with their own specific name and personality. She cherished her dolls so much that she regarded them as her children. One of her favourite dummies was named Billy. During the late 1930s and early 1940s, Mary performed her vaudeville stage act at the illustrious Gilnald Theatre in Ravens Fair. She performed nearly every night and lived out of her dressing room in the theatre. It was 1941 and Mary Shaw was a ventriloquist on stage. She had a dummy called Billy. That night, during her performance, a young boy named Michael Ashen made fun of Mary and called her a fraud. He claimed he could see her lips moving when the dummy was talking. Mary tried to restrain her embarrassment and voice her frustration through Billy, the doll. As Billy, Mary defended the idea that both the doll and she were two separate people. During the course of this conversation, their voices even began to overlap one another. She ended the performance by directing a cold stare at Michael Ashen, saying, "Now who's the dummy?" Some weeks later, that disbelieving little boy went missing, vanished without a trace. For his family, there was only ever one suspect, Mary Shaw. In fact, everyone in town felt that Mary Shaw must have played some role in it. When the boy's disappearance garnered notice throughout the town, the locals immediately suspected Mary Shaw. Members of the Ashen family, as well as other families, stormed her dressing room at the Gilnald. They murdered her by forcing her to scream and then ripping out her tongue, silencing the ventriloquist's voice forever. Or so it seemed. Mary's body was taken to the Walker Funeral Home for burial arrangements. As per her will, she wanted her remains to be cosmetically altered to resemble a doll. The director of the funeral home, Richard Walker, conceded to Mary's wishes. Also, in her will, Mary stated that her dummies were to be buried with her children, as she called them, all 101 of them. All 101 of her dolls were to be buried beside her in individual caskets. This wish was also granted, and Mary and her dolls occupied a faraway corner at the Ravens Fair Cemetery. The story of Mary Shaw did not end with her death, however. Her spirit rose from the grave and sought to avenge itself against the families of Ravens Fair. Working through her dolls, she haunted the townsfolk, murdering numerous people. Over the span of decades, Mary continued to silence those in the community by murdering anyone who screamed upon seeing her. Ever since she was buried, Ravens Fair has been plagued by death. One by one, each of the men involved were killed. They were found with sunken, ashen faces, their tongues forcibly removed from their bodies. And then the same thing happened to their wives, and then their children, and their children's children. Mary soon became a figure of local legend, and the people of Ravens Fair feared to even speak her name. A nursery rhyme circulated amongst Raven's first children, warning them against the actions of the angry ghost. No one in this town dare speak Mary Shaw's name, let alone go near her grave. They know she won't stop killing until the screaming does. Beware the stare of Mary Shaw. She had no children, only dolls. And if you see her in your dreams, make sure you never, ever scream, or she'll rip your tongue out at the seam. And if you see her, remember this: the only thing that can stop her is dead silence. Beware the stare of Mary Shaw. She had no children, only dolls. And if you see her in your dreams, you must never, ever scream, for she is taking revenge upon all who has silenced her and made her fall, sending out 101 dolls to rip out their tongues, so none of them will utter a single word again. Beady little eyes turning everywhere you go. Leave them in the dark and you never know. Forever they will place you down in eternal sleep. With a picture of horror your own blood will seep, and gone forever she will take all your loved ones and family. Beware of Mary Shaw, she is very angry. Whatever you do, don't appear scared, for she will murder you and leave your blood there. Her ghost is kept inside one doll. Dug from her grave, you will lose it all. Just don't say her name, don't ask her why. She'll take your loved ones and she won't cry. Beware the stare of Mary Shaw. Her spirit lives on.
Now, who's the dummy?
Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. You can also leave a comment below. All feedback, good or otherwise, is always appreciated. If you have any creepy stories of your own, or have any topics that you would like me to cover, feel free to send them in via any of my social media. You can find all links to my social media in the description below. Until next time guys, make sure you lock your doors, stay safe, and I'll see you next video.